welcome once again to the Woodshed. Don't forget to smash the bejesus out of the like button on your way in, and share and subscribe and all that good crack. So here I am carving the third character in the Táin saga in no particular order, or maybe an order yet to be revealed, who knows. This character I call simply the Chieftain, or in Irish, Taoiseac. This is Conchubair, son of Nasa, who stole the kingship of Ulster from the rightful king, Fergus, by way of his mother's deceit. Conchubair was the warrior Queen Maeve's first husband, and Conchubair's mother was Fergus's first wife, and it was herself who convinced Fergus to give Conchubair the kingship for a year and a day in return for her love. And that was where we left off in the last video. Ireland up until the early 17th century had a long history of kingship stretching back thousands of years. The island in ancient Ireland was divided into 5 cuige, or provinces, with the 4 provinces of Ulster, Leinster, Munster and Connacht ruled from the central province and seat of the Ardrí, or High King, at the royal fortress in Tara, which is now in County Meath. And as such, the provincial kings continually squabbled over the high kingship. They were known as kings in contention, and it was a wonderful system that allowed ample leeway for cattle rustling, land grabbing, fighting and intrigue and general mayhem. The cycle of stories known as the Ulster cycle is crowned by the sprawling epic tale of the Táin Cooley, literally the raiding of the cattle of Cooley. My uncle Michael always pondered the name cattle raid, as the story itself revolves around the theft of a single bull by Maeve from her former husband Conchubair. But it's my uncle Michael's contention that where the heifers go, the bull will follow, and so the war for the bull was in fact fought not for one animal, but essentially for the entire wealth of Conchubair's ill-gotten kingdom. Maeve, with Fergus the exiled king by her side, was perhaps taking advantage of political instability within her former husband's kingdom and looking to attain for herself a second kingdom. Why not? But Conchubair, although illegitimate, was anything but a weak king. He seems to have been much like the Teflon Taoiseac that run the country today, absolutely irremovable and totally crooked. Conchubair was the quintessential Irish politician. He was not the archetypal king in the sense that there were and are certain criteria that a righteous, mature human male should fulfil for the sake of balance and harmony of the realm. The righteous king should be incorruptible, well-disciplined, wise and inspiring of his people. But Conchubair was the antithesis of all of that. He was the shadow, or winter king, an usurper, a cruel tyrant, and a powerful one at that. Although popular 1st century BC opinion would not have enlightened you to that fact. You see, the Shanakee of the time were not the ridiculously handsome and witty, intellectual, moral Ironmen that they are today. The popular opinion of the day, as passed down through the oral tradition, seems to have been as ass-backwards as it is today. Conchubair was said to be a popular and wise king, despite such strange habits as stealing thrones, sleeping with everybody's wife on the night of their marriage, kidnap, betrayal and murder, as in the story of young Deirdre and Naoise, or collusion, land grabbing, insider trading, embezzlement, theft, fraud, bribery and extortion, as in the story of the Mahon Tribunal, which began sometime in the 1st century and ended just recently in 2012. Conchubair, despite all his obvious corruption, was certainly wise. He was wise enough to know that he should be king. He was also a cunning tactician, You see him here playing the Irish game of kings known as fickle, with the king in the middle of the board, defended by the Craobh Rua, or the Red Branch Knights, and surrounded then by Maeve's warriors as they advance into the north. Conchubair, it seems, had a savvy and well-paid marketing team around him, which were the cloak to his dagger. If he couldn't outsmart his opponent, or was just feeling lazy, there was always the option to just stab them in the eyeball, if necessary. But here in Connacht, the wool of popular opinion is not so easily pulled over our eyes. You see, we are the custodians of the hidden doorways of the Sidhe, and through them a profound and otherworldly wisdom is conferred upon us. In Connacht, we understand that enduring truth that says, Mabala la kake is kakshe, which translates from the Irish as, if something smells like shite, it very often is. Conchubair is the northern king, crowned by the Corona Borealis, the northern crown constellation in the night sky. He dominates the north and glowers from beyond the Great Wall. The northern crown constellation is located between the constellations Hercules, the exiled king, and Boetes, the chieftain as I call him. The crown is held in contention, as though the two play an eternal tug-of-war in the night sky. It has long been winter now, and the Corona has crowned the Shadow King, the usurper and liar, for his year and a day. But the sap is rising now in the fire of spring, and the exiled King Fergus and his warrior consort Maeve are marching into the dark north with a vast army behind them to reclaim their rightful place at the head of the great summer cattle drive. So the question is, who will go drive with Fergus now, and pierce the deep wood's woven shade, and dance upon the level shore? Young man, lift up your russet brow, and lift your tender eyelids, maid, and brood on hopes and fears no more, and no more turn aside and brood upon love's bitter mystery. For Fergus rules the brazen cars, and rules the shadows of the wood, and the white breast of the wild sea, and all the shevelled wandering stars.